All my photographer friends, don't skip this video, this is going to be useful. An idea that saves a lot of time is life-changing, isn't it? Sometimes a flick of an idea that comes to your mind and you never know it's gonna work until you try it. I'm super excited to talk to you about an idea that works for me, and I'm dedicating this episode especially for you guys, all my photographer friends around the world. Let's start the intro. Hi friends, this is Giri. Welcome back to my new video. Here I am going to talk to you about one of the worst nightmares of photographers. It is bulk photo editing. You can stay with realistic pictures, no problem with that. But most of the time, photographers work in uncontrolled environment and you will end up with photographs having high in highlights, low in shadows. Your photographs are not sharp enough, so you have to do a bit of post correction. You can use Photoshop if you are working with a minimum number of photos. But what happens if you have a large pile of photos? For example, in my case, I click around 500 to 600 pictures if I am attending a 4-hour function, and I edit around 450 to 500 pictures. I know it's too much, but I don't want my clients to miss any of their beautiful moments. I use Lightroom. Lightroom helps me a lot with photo editing, like especially with the bulk photo editing. But is Lightroom enough? No. Why? Because I like to use keyboard shortcuts to make my workflow easier, but the problem is Lightroom keyboard shortcuts are not laid properly matching our fingers. So you still have to look for the keys, or you still have to reach for the keys with your fingers. So I was looking for some ideas and I find this idea. Here I'm going to break the surprise. A small gadget, a small device helps me, and I'm super excited. Actually, that's one of the coolest ideas that I find recently working for my editing side. I will show you that one in a minute. Here it comes. Nothing fancy here. It's an Xbox gaming controller. So how does this small device help me with the Lightroom editing? Okay, what I did was I mapped all the keyboard shortcuts of Lightroom into this one. Not all of them, some of them, the useful ones. For example, if I want to increase the exposure of the photograph, I press on this button and it will increase the exposure. And if I want to decrease the exposure, press on this button and it will decrease the exposure. So I will show you everything in detail in editing desk. Let's go to my editing desk. Yes, we are here in my editing desk. I did a lot of talking, so let's get into the topic straight. I have Lightroom open here, and I have the normal keyboard and the Xbox Joystick. I mainly use Canon 5D Mark IV, and I have created a Lightroom preset specifically for Canon 5D. Once I uploaded all the pictures to Lightroom, I add this preset to a picture and I sync all the effect to the entire photographs I uploaded. Now we can go back to each picture and tweak the setting using the keyboard shortcut. So the main keyboard shortcuts for the basic panel parameters are comma and full stop. Then to increase or decrease effects are minus and plus. For navigating through the pictures, you have to use backward and forward keys. If you are using only these keyboard shortcuts, the comma and the full stop, and plus and minus and the forward and backward button, you can easily identify these buttons without looking onto the keyboard. You don't lose time. Just imagine when you edit a picture, if you like the settings of this picture and you want to paste to the next one, you have to click on the previous. So you have to take the hands off from the keyboard to get into the mouse. The other option is you have to use a shortcut Ctrl-Alt-V to paste the settings from the previous one. If you're taking your hands off from these keys and then getting back to find where Ctrl-Alt-V and then going back again, you're gonna fiddle and you're gonna lose a lot of time when you're editing a lot of pictures. So in this situation is our joysticks comes into action. So when you're using this joystick and you want to paste the settings of the previous photograph to the current one, you just press on this Y button. I will show you, I'll reset this picture. See these settings? I want to paste these settings to the next picture. So all settings are normal in here. So I'm going to press on Y. See, one press, all the settings being changed. So that way it's easier, and it's actually easier to hold like this. And I'll show you a couple of things. I'll reset this picture again. I want to move to next picture. Just click on this button, and if you want to come back to the previous ones, you click on the backward button. And so let's see how I can control the basic panel settings. It's actually cool. So what you have to do is, these two buttons are mapped for the basic panel settings. See, the settings are, it's for the forward, it's actually going forward through the basic panel settings, and it's going backward. So I want to increase the shadow. So this is actually the plus sign and this is the minus sign. So by pressing on this button, the shadows are getting increased. By pressing on this button, shadows are getting decreased. And if you want to increase the exposure of this picture, just go backwards and then you click on this one, the exposure is getting increased. Another problem that I faced while using this joystick or the normal keyboard is cropping. We don't have a shortcut for cropping. There's actually a shortcut for some particular size, but if you want like a crop according to what we want, there's no shortcut. You have to use the mouse. So taking your hands off from joystick or keyboard to get to the mouse to crop photographs is not a good idea. You're losing a lot of time with that. So what I do is I give a rating of 1 for the photographs that I want to crop, and I select all those photos in the end. I will show you how do I do that. So suppose if I want to crop this photograph, I give a rating of 1 for this one, and on my joystick I have set this one, this button for rating of 1. I'll show you. If I want to crop this photograph, I press X, it's give a rating of 1. So once I finish editing of all the pictures except for cropping, I go to this box, click on rated. I click on this button to setting as rating is equal to, and click on 1 star. I'll get all the pictures I gave a rating as 1 here. So then it's easier for me to use the keyboard to crop these pictures. Click on R. I crop this up to here. I think you guys know by now why I was that excited about this idea. It's cool. Anyway, I'll tell you how to do this. You just need only 5 minutes. You need a software called Joy2Key. You can download Joy2Key from here, joy2key.net. Joy2Key. Once installed, you have to create a profile. It's on. You create a profile. Just create and name it. And once it is done, click on your joystick button. The button that you press will be highlighted in this panel. So to change or assign your desired key to that button, click on edit button. So I want the forward arrow to be mapped onto the forward arrow on the joystick. So I click on this one. So it's automatically detected by the software. Then click OK. That's it. That button is done. See, it's been done. So in that way you have to assign all the buttons, and that's it. Done.
This is a super cool idea, isn't it? I hope this video will help you increase your workflow in Lightroom. And if you like this video, please comment. That will be a motivation for me to make more videos. Press the like button and click the subscribe button below and talk to your friends. This is Giri winding up today, and I will come back with another video next time. Thank you.